All right, what we got here is a website called Open Knowledge Maps. This is a nonprofit company. So this is designed mainly for sciences and scientific research, although it pulls up plenty of other stuff. The documents you're going to find here are all written by actual people. What I mean by that is they're not journalists. These are people that study and write things, whether researchers or scientists. Here you can see the two, basically all disciplines. It's all scientific disciplines. Life sciences, that's basically the study of organisms. So it's not a physical science. So to keep it simple, and what's called natural science has two branches. One's life science, that's living organisms. One's physical science, that's non-living organisms. Not that that matters. Down here, it tells you a little bit about them, what they're doing. They're a nonprofit. It says sustainable platform. I don't even know what a sustainable platform is. But when you search things here, I believe it defaults to base. You can choose Pubmed. You type in your search, and you'll get a window pop up, and what I'll do is I'll type this in here. I'll just type in medical research. That's way too general, but it's just to show you when it pops up. It says it's going to take around 20 seconds. That's a lie. It takes about 1 to 3 minutes, depending on what you're searching. Sometimes this thing will fill all the way up and it won't even go. So it's going to take a little bit. So I've experimented, like I've searched a term, I've seen how long it takes. And then I've searched that term and like other terms or that term and hit it like 3 times because it opens up a new window and it takes just as long. So if you have like a long list, just open them all up. But it takes a little longer. Now what I did here is I have some already open up here on top that I did to compare. But I'll show you what your results are going to look something like this. What they do is they pull about the top 100 written articles specific to your search. Now I want to note down here, last time I said you probably don't want to use Boolean searches. Right here it says try out digital education and show climate change quotes and impact. So that's part of those searches that I put up there that showed you the different ways to do what we call Boolean searches, or however people are phrasing them these days. Those work really great in here to get you more specific results. So on this one, it says I did meloxicam side effects. Meloxicam is an anti-inflammatory I take. It shows you 100 most relevant. And when you highlight that, it shows you to determine most relevant, we use the relevance ranking provided by the source, either base or Pubmed. Both sources compute the text similarity between your query and the article metadata to establish a relevance ranking. So this is searched and ranked based on what you're looking for, not based on ad revenue, ad placement, any of that kind of stuff. Then it shows you there's 74 open access documents, which means the other ones are ones that you need to pay to access from the website, not this website, like usually from the source website, or they're on like a collegiate college website, you don't have access to it. Then it shows document types and metadata quality. So over here, we can show just open access and drop down to those 74 so we don't get confused if we want. You see up here, it shows the circles. When you go over the circle, it puts the articles. So into this one, this big one right here, it says bone pain, anti-inflammatory NSAIDs. It's going to show me the articles that came in there, and see they got the lock. So these were all open access. And then this will take me to the link, and you can see the name, like this one here, clinical efficacy or whatever it's called. It's the same one as this one. So they're all right here. Then you can zoom back out. It's just to show you how they were categorized in the search. And you might be like, oh, I wanted to know more about it in this area. Then over here, sort by relevance. So relevance is the default. Basically, it's relevant to whatever words you put in, how they feel was the most accurate. You can do it by title, which is alphabetically, authors, or the year it was released. Here's the other thing too. Search within map being this, you're basically searching in these articles. You'll notice here in gray, it's highlighted the word side, the word effects, the word meloxicam. That's because those are the words I used. Now that I'm in here, I could highlight, let's see, we'll try irritation. I put that in there so they don't have any. If it had any, it would pull them up. Try NSAID. There, and it highlights everyone that has NSAID in it, which is non-steroid anti-inflammatory. Now, going back to this result, you'll see here I searched right there. I searched in base, basically all source documents, right? Meloxicam side effects. Here I search meloxicam side effects just in published life science medical stuff. While some stuff is the same, you'll see a lot of these categories are different. So we go back over here, look at minutes, anti-inflammatory this, whatever. Geez, some of these words, I don't even know what they are. Acute radiation, clinical practice, general medicine, veterinary, acute and chronic, non-specific. When we go over here into the life science journals, here's what we see. Beef bulls, acute inflammatory beef bulls, effects of oral administration, avian, that's birds, breast cancer. So you get different results. So depending on what it is, you might want to try both until you know what you're looking for. If you're wondering why you would use this, sometimes I use this when I'm researching a topic I'm looking into. Like I used this a lot when I was learning about corona and the virus and different things. In fact, let's see what this one is. Oh, this is just a different one I did before I get back to corona, because some of these are coronavirus searches. I put inflation in South America because what is it, Argentina or Venezuela? It's like at 4 million% right now. It's stupid. But it was to see different types of things you can put in to get the results. I'm going to get rid of that one. Now, so I did election fraud just to put it in. Now, this was to show you if you type in something, you're sitting in America, you use Google and you type in election fraud, you probably know by now the majority of the stuff you're going to pull up are news articles or websites, blogs relating to whether or not election fraud in the U.S. is real. This is not something pulling from the United States. It's pulling from everywhere. And as you can see, some of the stuff on some of these are in different languages. But look at all these different things. This one has to do with Afghanistan. This one over here is in Africa. This one's very general. This one's on laws. Here's another one in Afghanistan. So like the other one, you have to be more specific. And here's the thing. On the last one I showed you on Carrot 2, it would have the search up here and you could just add into it. On this one, you have to redo it. Now, the upside is it defaults to open in a new window, but you can also go back up to search here. So what we got here? Mining resources on Mars. So I looked that up. So this is another example. While that sounds specific, because it's sciences, you'd probably want to know more specific about mining in space or something other than just saying mining on the planet Mars. But there are articles on these subjects. Where's these corona ones? Okay, so this one I just searched vaccination death rate. So you can find results, but in knowledge maps, I consider things like mining metals on Mars, vaccination death rates, I consider them way too generic to take full advantage of this. So I use this when I have something very specific science related, or I can use those Boolean searches and I can say vaccination death rate in quotes and then put and, throw a specific disease or some sort of study after it. That's what this is. Really, we're going to make your money on this, as the phrasing goes. But again, this shows, and you can see here, see how this says open access, and these ones don't have it, so they're not open. They're probably not open access free. And it shows the link. Also here it says if it's a link to somewhere. Let's see. Let's see if those are open access. There it is. So that's to, it mentions Canada, so that's a Canadian article. So here we have a PDF. So if we open that, what do we get for the PDF? And this is the thing, because however it's pulling these and wherever it's getting them from, it does go slow compared to the rest of the internet, but it only takes a few seconds, so it's not that big of a deal. But anyway, it shows you the types of things you can get. But see how this is taken? This is exactly what it's going to be like when you search. It's not immediate gratification, although I'm telling you my experience 20 years ago, 25 years ago, that would be immediate internet gratification. That would be considered fast. So this is a PDF. And you notice it had the search by date, so you got to check the dates on these, depending, especially when you're looking at medical stuff. This was written and published from 2018 to 2019. So it pulls up like that, whether it's a link or a PDF. So I must be getting close to what I'm looking for. Okay. Yeah. So this is another example. So this was in the base source, basically all sciences. I typed in coronavirus immunity, and it has herd immunity, social distancing here. Allergy, coronavirus vaccines, cross-reactive immunity here. Burman cats, feline coronavirus over here. animals, apnea, managed central nervous system here. Anyway, you get the idea. This one I did, same thing, but I did it in life science medical searches. And right here on this one, it says spike protein, Middle East respiratory syndrome, coronavirus. So that's MERS. Coronavirus infections, glyceric acid, whatever that is. That's why I don't like looking at medical stuff. Herd immunity, SARS-CoV-2 aspects, including. So there's that one. Common cold, coronavirus, SARS-CoV-2 right there. Cellular immunity. So the point is, what I liked about this result, I put a few of these up because I knew it would take a while, but it was to see that this gives you a good example of how much more specific it can get in life sciences when you're looking up something related to there. So this one on immunity, while it's coronavirus specific, it's a kind of a general thing. Like this talks about allergies. This one talks about general herd immunity, cross-reactive immunity. And I pulled up some of these articles. I say articles, they're not articles, and looked at them. And they're very good, but it's very general. This is general about animals, infection. It's similar to kind of stuff you heard talked about on the news the last year. Then we get over here and we're like, hey, as a reminder, there's different types of SARS and MERS. You know, this talks specifically about cellular immunity. It gets more specific and detailed. Acute diarrhea syndrome, don't want that. Bovine coronavirus, central nervous system infections. This is where you're getting those detailed scientific things in there. And then you could take this and say, get it more specific to see what's in there. We'll pick something from over here. Oh yeah, common cold. Let's see. Since that says common cold, let's see. So it's just that one. And let's see. Let's try immunization. Just depends on what you want. Systematic immunity in mice elicited by a single immunization with human endovirus type 4. I don't even know what that means. Now, let's go back to this one. Same thing, remember coronavirus immunity, but in the base document. Let's see what it shows. Type immunization. What we got? Nothing compared to that. So it just goes to show you. Now, it doesn't mean you have to search both all the time. You kind of get used to it, but remember, life science, living organism, coronavirus infects a living organism. Probably going to get something more specific there. And then what's this? This is the first one I did. Oh, I typed in coronavirus weapon because it only pulled up 2 circles when I put biological weapon. But this talks about coronavirus disease, very general, converting interfering RNAs, potential. That actually, but I haven't read those. Those could lead into the idea of weapons development. So this is RNA. Hidden weapon, natural compounds, protein binding. That covers a little bit about how that stuff's done. So this goes to show, again, simple phrases like this, so 2 or 3 words are not going to cut it. You're going to find stuff. But if you really want to know about coronavirus being used as a biological weapon, you got to write that out or be more specific. So let's see here. We'll try all disciplines. SARS. Well, we'll just do coronavirus. Do COVID-19. A biological weapon. Let's see what that pulls up. Now that's going to take a second. So here's back to the meloxicam one. And then I did show you this, but you search in it, it's going to pull these up. Comparison the effects of lidocaine in combination and meloxicam. I use lidocaine in combination. You'll see here when I clicked on it, it opens it up right here. And it's giving you the kind of the objective, the basic part. You can preview the PDF. Open the PDF here. It just gives you the intro part if you just want to see it. And you can also do this link here to open in another window. Let's find, are any of these not PDFs? Let's go over here to this one. Okay. There's a lot. Pain control. And you see all the gray highlights in there of what I typed, because when I searched on this one, it defaults gray to whatever I searched, which had to do with meloxicam. So it defaults gray, and then if I type anything in search, it'll change it to yellow. It's going to do the same thing. It's going to give the basic opening, gives you all the information right here of who wrote it and when it was written in 2017. Gives you the link to it. Also, you can do the link here, and then down here, it gives you the areas that they're focusing on, which is avian, bosindicus, bowel injuries, and it has keywords in here. These keywords are the keywords that they added to this when they wrote it and submitted it to whatever journal or website or doctor, whatever they're doing. So this is heavily science-based. Now let's go back over here. Okay, so good. COVID-19 is a biological weapon. I still down to just a few items. So here we had conspiracy theories. In fact, let's just go back to this main list. It'll be easy. Let's see. The outcome of psychological traumatic situation experienced by medical students in the COVID-19. They got PTSD. Okay. As students. Interesting. Conspiracy theories. Let's see. Risk perception, behavioral response among the general population attending General Children's Hospital in Lahore. And then when you see stuff like this, you got to figure out when it's written, where's it coming from? But you really want to look into it, because when it gets into the sciences, a lot of times, while there are certain setbacks, technological advances, or places like that in Pakistan, it's determining. You'll find that a lot of doctors and stuff, they just publish their stuff the same as they would anywhere else. So don't get too caught up in where it's coming from. Although some places like North Korea might be a red flag. But you can see it's got a few articles here. But look, infection and vaccination, vaccine possibilities, practice among healthcare workers, behavioral response. What's this one? Conspiracy theories, traumatic PTSD. So none of these have to do with it being used as a biological weapon. That doesn't mean that stuff's not out there. It's just showing you that wherever they're pulling this stuff from, all the places they're getting this from, nobody's really put the science time in that. And there's probably better ways. So to go over this again, to highlight, pulling from sciences. If you do Pubmed, that's life science, living organisms, you'll get different responses in both, no matter what you search. You want more specific searches, not simple 2 or 3 word things like we'd look up on our Google. You want to use those Boolean methods where you're putting things in quotes and all that stuff that I put on the page. In fact, I'll show you in case you're new. Let's see. There's a page. At the time I'm recording this isn't too old, but I go, oh, here's something you can do too, just in case you're seeing this later. When it shows up says post by all, you can pick only posts you're doing. That's what I'm doing. So if you're looking for my posts, it's not going to show post by me. You have to go over here and click on that. That's what you'll have to do. Scroll down before there and you can look at posts and comments. But let me see. I'm scrolling through here looking for a couple of specific posts. Let's see. We're getting close. It's only a few days old. What they have is Boolean search, we call Boolean search topics on how to search things. Those are alternative search engines, so I know we're getting close. Research sites. It's right in here somewhere. Look at that. Got to go to the next page. Boolean expressions, part 1 and part 2. So these were written on February 12th. That's what you're looking for. It shows in here. What I'm going to do is open these up separately to give you an idea. It shows you, like here, use positive signs to include words in the search that are being ignored by the engine. Use quotation marks to search a phrase exactly word for word. So when I did searches like COVID-19 is a biological weapon, if I put quotes, it would mean I want results that specifically say those words in that order, which is not what I wanted. Like here, put minus dogs and after the search. That's to get rid of something that's showing up too much. But you want to look more for the ones that are talking about titling and adding words. Like search allergies near the ocean. Near is all capitalized without quotation marks. So allergies capitalized near the ocean. Includes both the words allergies and ocean within the range of 16 words. So the near doesn't mean you're getting an allergy near the ocean. It means near allergies and ocean. You got to practice with these to kind of get them. Over here we got, this was how to search file types and stuff. But anyway, check those out. You can also just search those on any source site. But so, yeah, so we got life sciences, base sciences. It takes a few seconds to pull those up. In there, it'll have all the circles where you can check your results. It'll have PDFs, links, all those different things. And it's science-based, so you're looking for science stuff, not news, not current events. These are all written, researched articles by students or experts or doctors or whoever. They're not pulling it in based on an aggregate search to make money. It's based on exactly what you searched. They're pulling in from medical journals, doctors' websites, not like the doctor you see, but scientists, all the places they publish stuff. It's a very good tool, and you may find it's helpful and something you want to try out. So give it a shot, see what you like on there. Maybe it won't pertain to you, but you'll have it in your arsenal the next time you need to look up something that's kind of science or medically related.